Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. Yeah, so that's a good question. It's what we're going to be doing is pumping you full of high nutrient dense, clean foods, and we're removing any items that are typically known to create inflammation in the body, such as gluten, dairy, alcohol, any sort of refined sugars, really any sugars at all, for the most part. An apple is allowed, but for the most part, not even most fruit sugars are going to be included in this. And so the program and the schedule that you've got with the uh, healthy foods that you're going to be ingesting whilst eliminating even animal proteins, other animal proteins like meat, is really going to help the body to do what it does best. So our kidneys and our liver is really phenomenal when it's working well at keeping us clean and detoxing all the chemicals and all the things that we're exposed to day. However, sometimes given our lifestyle, we might make a little extra work for our body and make it a little more difficult to actually process the things. Because you got to keep in mind, our liver can really only process and our kidneys can only process so much per hour, right? And so sometimes if our lifestyle, if we're more of a heavier drinker or moderate drinker, what have you, then we might not be allowing our body enough time to fully cleanse, if that makes sense. So the regimen is really set up to give the body a little bit of a break, kind of ease up a bit and pump in some high dense nutrients. So when it comes to sugar in particular, you could now, like you said, you're different and your chemical makeup is different. So for you, this might be a little bit easier, might be more difficult. We'll just have to experience that when you start. But typically, for somebody that eats a lot of sugar or is a heavier drinker, then detoxing from that can be a little painful the first couple of days. Like you said already, headaches, cravings, maybe even a little bit of nausea. Just depends on the person, really. Uh, I think, too, the best way really to describe it for some would be, well, I'll use my example. When I did this like forever ago, many years ago, working with a nutritionist, and I was detoxing from sugar. I've never done drugs, but it was the worst. It was the worst. I was sick. I couldn't really eat. I wasn't hungry. I had headaches and nausea, and oh God, everything. It was just strange. The feeling like really tired, fatigued, kind of cloudy in the mind a little bit. And the way
Mhm.
she described it to me when I went back to my nutritionist, and I was like, "What is going on?" She was like, "Well, I told you the first 3 days are going to be tough." For some, because sugar is so highly addictive, it can feel like you are detoxing from a heavy drug, right?
Mhm.
So your body is literally going through withdrawals from that substance. And keep in mind that sugar in particular, like I just said, super addictive because it part of what it does is it lights up the reward center in the brain, just like drugs do. And so
Yeah.
your brain will get addicted to that happy, good feeling, right? So it wants more of that, gives you like this sugar rush when you eat it, when you
Yeah.
processed sugars. But it also creates a memory on your tongue. So what will happen
Mhm.
is it takes a few days for that to pass. So it's really important to be cognizant of the kind of toothpaste you're using too. Sometimes, well, actually, a lot of brands will they love to slip sugar in there, but you may not even realize that it's in there. So I'm gonna just warn you right now: if it tastes sweet, your body, your tongue is going to recognize it as sugar. Even stevia has a similar kind of effect, even though uh, science shows that it doesn't spike your blood sugar like refined sugar does. Nonetheless, it's still going to create that sort of memory on your tongue. So it
Right.
feels good. So keep that in mind. It could be for the first couple of days for you a little rough. So I would suggest
Yeah.
have grace, Take it easy, lots of water, and make sure you can rest. If you need to lay down and rest, just go to sleep. Full teas that are not caffeinated are encouraged. So, like chamomile, mint tea, peppermint, anything of that nature, really, really good and highly recommended. Licorice, that kind of thing. Technically, it takes anywhere from 21 to 30 days for the body to completely detox. That includes sugars as well. 10 days, anywhere from like 3 to 10 days is a great way to kind of get started. I wouldn't recommend doing any sort of aggressive or advanced 10-day cleanse unless you are already part of a 30, 60, or 90-day program that's being supervised by a health professional. So in this case, since you are already going dry, I feel like you're and with what the regimen you're following is safe, definitely safe for you to follow. And 10 days gives you a good length of time to really help the liver to and the kidneys to process, to be, kind of remove all the stuff, all the crap, and
Right.
allow it to process. Because keep in mind, you need that first 2 to 3 days um, to get through the cravings and the withdrawals and the things of that nature that you're going to experience, and then
Right.
your body is going to start to shift and change. So it really takes more so longer than 10 days, but this is a great introduction. I would say 10 days is a great introduction to making a more sustainable lifestyle change whilst giving your body a break to cleanse. So typically people do see by the end of 10 days, usually by day 7 or so, you start to really feel better, like you have more energy, a higher level of mental cognition. You might be sleeping better even. All kinds of other great things are going to happen for you usually around day 7. So by day 10, most people have reported that they've even lost a couple of pounds, anywhere from 2 to 5 pounds just within that uh, 10 days, because that gives your body enough time to reduce inflammation, whatever inflammation might be there, and increase fat burning. So these products are one of my favorites. In fact, my top favorite on the market today, and I've tried so many. What I love about the
Yeah.
amino, right? It's kind of frustrating, but no, I love Purium. I'm a huge advocate, affiliate of Purium. I absolutely love it. I use it myself. Um, the the amino 23 acid is really fantastic, and why it is because it is a pure vegan protein. Now, this particular amino acid is not something that the body produces on its own. It's something that we get through the foods that we eat. Okay. So while you're on this cleanse, you still need to have your good healthy fats, your green leafy veggies and things, but you also need protein, right? And so we're not including any sort of animal protein, but we want to make sure that we're ingesting enough protein for our body, not just because, to function day to day with the regular functions of the body, but also because we want to increase fat burning, which the amino 23 will do that to protein. And so the way that they get the protein, it's from multiple different vegan sources. And the way that it's processed makes it easy to digest in the body. And what's fun, a fun little fact about this is that it will um, enter into the bloodstream within 23 minutes of ingesting the product. So that's why we recommend first thing in the morning, have your water and then ingest or take your amino 23 tablets, because you're getting that dose of vegan protein first thing right in the morning. And then, of course, sometime later, usually 1 to 2 hours later, have your shake.